The first time I overheard them plotting, I almost convinced myself I was imagining it. It was late, just before midnight. My wife, Claire, had invited her two closest friends, Amanda and Julie, over for wine and a quiet girls' night. I was upstairs in my office pretending to finish some work when I went down to grab a glass of water. Halfway down the hallway, hidden in the shadow of the staircase, I froze. Their laughter floated from the living room, soft, secretive, threaded with something that didn't sound innocent. Then Amanda's voice sliced through the air, sharp and deliberate. "You should test him, Claire. Pretend you're ending things. See if he begs. See how desperate he gets to prove he's loyal. Men only reveal their true selves when they think they're about to lose you." The glass nearly slipped from my hand. Julie chimed in, smug and certain.
Exactly.
"If he doesn't fight for you, maybe he never cared at all. At least you'd know where you stand." And then Claire, my wife, the woman I trusted with my life, answered. "You really think so? It feels kind of cruel, but maybe you're right. I guess sometimes I wonder if he'd still love me if things ever got difficult." I stood frozen, my heart pounding. She wasn't just listening, she was agreeing. She was considering staging a fake breakup to test me, as if our marriage were some experiment. In that moment, something inside me cracked. The setup. The very next evening, she carried out the plan. We sat at the dining table, dinner untouched, candlelight flickering across her face. There was something rehearsed in her eyes, a practiced sadness. She looked straight at me and whispered, "James, I don't think this is working anymore. We're done." The exact script Amanda had planted in her head. My chest tightened, but I forced myself to remain calm. I could almost hear Amanda's voice staring her to see if I would beg. Instead, I leaned back in my chair, gave a small nod, and replied softly, "If that's how you feel, I won't stop you." Her fork slipped from her fingers and clattered against the plate. The mask cracked, shock flickered across her face. "Wait, what? That's it? You're not even going to try, James? After everything we've been through?" I kept my voice steady. "If you've already decided it's over, there's nothing left to fight for." She stared at me, speechless. And for the first time in years, I felt the power shift between us. That night she tossed and turned beside me, restless and uneasy. I lay awake, eyes fixed on the ceiling, her words, "We're done," echoing in my head. Did she really think love could be tested like this? That breaking my heart could somehow measure loyalty? The true betrayal wasn't the fake breakup. It was knowing she had planned it with her friends, knowing she doubted me enough to carry out such a twisted little experiment. The distance. In the days that followed, I played along. I grew distant, colder. I stopped initiating conversations. I no longer reached for her hand the way I used to. It didn't take long for the cracks to show. One night, she cornered me in the kitchen, her voice trembling. "James, are you really okay with this being over?" I cut her off, my words sharper than I intended. "I thought we were a team, Claire. I thought trust meant something between us." She flinched as if I had struck her. The confrontation. A week later, I couldn't hold it in any longer. I invited Amanda and Julie over myself, pretending everything was fine. I poured wine, smiled, played the perfect host. But inside, I was a storm waiting to break. When the three of them settled in, laughing as though they hadn't conspired against me, I leaned against the doorway and let the truth drop. "So, Claire, how did I perform in your little loyalty experiment?" Silence hit the room like a hammer. Amanda froze, her glass hovering midair. Julie's face drained of color. Claire's mouth opened, but no words came out. I stepped closer, locking eyes with my wife. "Don't look so surprised. I heard everything. That night, you sat here plotting whether I'd beg or walk away. I caught every word." Her lips trembled. "James, I wasn't trying to hurt you. But you did," I snapped, harsher than I intended. "You could have just asked me if I loved you. You could have trusted what we've built. Instead, you staged a breakup like I'm some lab rat you needed to test." Amanda shifted uncomfortably. We were only trying to protect her. I turned on her, fury boiling in my chest. No, you weren't. You poisoned her mind, and she let you. Julie opened her mouth to speak, but I cut her off coldly. Both of you need to leave. Now. Without a word, they gathered their things, cheeks flushed with shame, and slipped out the door. The fallout. Only Claire and I remained. The moment the door shut, she broke down, clutching my arm through tears. James, please. I didn't mean it like that. I was scared. I needed to know if we were strong enough. I thought if you fought for me, I'd feel safe again. Her words cut deeper than any knife. Claire, I said slowly, if you don't already know how much I love you, nothing I do will ever prove it. My love isn't a test. It's a life I've given you every single day without question. She wept harder. I made a mistake. I see that now. Please don't give up on me. And here was the cruelest truth. I still loved her. Even with anger burning inside me, even with betrayal gnawing at my chest, I couldn't simply stop caring. But love without trust is a house built on sand. The aftermath. In the weeks that followed, we lived in limbo. She tried, God, she tried, to win me back. Breakfasts in bed, long apologetic texts, surprise date nights. But every time I looked at her, I saw that dinner table. I heard those words again. We're done. A dagger meant to draw blood, just to see if I'd bleed. One night, lying in the dark, she whispered, "Do you think we can fix this?" I stayed silent. Because I didn't know. The turning point. A month later, I came home to find her on the couch, clutching an envelope. Her voice shook as she handed it to me. I wrote you something. Inside was a handwritten letter, raw, shaky, desperate. She confessed everything. Her insecurities, her fears, the influence her friends had over her, and the crushing guilt that had haunted her since the night she spoke those words. If you leave me, I'll understand. But if you stay, I'll spend the rest of my life proving you never had to beg for my love. It was always yours. I sat there with her letter trembling in my hands, torn between heartbreak and hope. The decision. I wish I could say I forgave her instantly, that we cried, kissed, and rebuilt everything overnight. But life doesn't work that way. I told her I needed time. I told her forgiveness wasn't something I could promise yet. And for once, she didn't argue. She just nodded, tears streaming down her face, and whispered, "I'll wait." So here I stand, in the wreckage of betrayal, staring at the faint glimmer of what we once were. Because love isn't just passion or loyalty, it's trust. And when trust shatters, the road back is long and merciless. Maybe one day, I'll find my way back to her. Or maybe her words that night will haunt me forever. But I know this much. The moment she tested me, she failed her own.